Welcome to a very windy Broward County Cricket Stadium here on day 4 of USPL 2023. Now, after a lot of rain yesterday, it had to take a lot of work from Milton and Co. to get the ground ready. They had to scrape a little bit of mud, ensure that the areas are dry, because every wet spot was a spot of bother indeed. And the wind as well is something that they had to fight. But just in time, they were able to give it to the officials to signal play. Now, these were 3 games today. The Cowboys were supposed to take on the California Golden Eagles. Unfortunately, rain had the better laugh over there, the last laugh. The Titans versus Mavericks is the game that we'll be having first up. And we're hoping Chicago Patriots versus Carolina Eagles as well would be a cracker indeed. It's a beautiful stadium, and they had to work really hard to make it as good a playing condition that it's become now. A lot of rain yesterday. If you're a USPL cricket fan, you know pain and rain were synonyms. Now at the points table, Phillies United, they played 3 and won 1. They got a couple of points due to no result as well. With 4 points, they sit pretty up top. New Jersey Titans, number 2, will be taking on number 4 on the points table, Maryland Mavericks, who are very, very itchy to get on the field again. They got to ball a little bit, but never got to play a full game. The 3 points they've gained is because of the no result. Let's go down to Andrew Leonard, who's got the 2 captains, and they'll be looking at the surface and the sky at the same time.
Okay, time for the toss after a long wait. Brilliant to be back into action. I've got the captains alongside the match referee here. We've got Harmeet Singh joined by Jesse Singh and Danny Khan overseeing things. Harmeet, I think you've got the coin. Heads is the call, and it is a tail. Harmeet, you've won the toss. What are you going to do, please, and why?
We'll bowl first, and the wicket looks nice. Won't change much. There's still a little bit of cloud cover. Maybe it'll help the seamers a little bit. And also, you know, if it rains, it's better to chase.
Yeah. A little bit of a frustrating wait, but you're raring to go to get back into action.
Oh yeah, always. You know, Florida brings the rain, but we are here to play. So we want to win, and we can't wait to get out there again.
Okay, finally, any team news from you? Any changes today?
We have 1 change. We had 4 seamers last game, so we add in an extra spinner. Raj comes in place for Harish. And we added Aaron also in the top 12 impact player.
Looking forward to seeing Raj Rocky Nana, and good luck today. Okay, the Titans choosing to bowl first. Jesse, would you have done the same?
Yeah, definitely. I think given the conditions here, especially with the forecast, I think having runs on the board, you sort of know what you're going to chase just in case the rain comes and the game shortened now. But looking at our previous game, when we bowled first, I think the runs were coming pretty good in the first inning as well. So either way is fine.
With the fact that you've had those matches washed out, today's game is very important for you to get winning.
Yeah, I think each game is important. We would have loved to get the games in the last 2 days, but you know, certain things you can't control. It's not in your control, but it was a bit frustrating. But happy to be out here now. We're looking to put on the show.
We all are. Finally, any team news for me?
Just 1 change. Ronaldo Mohammed comes in for Vinith, and then we'll see who we're going to bring in for impact player.
Jesse, best of luck today. Okay, so that is the news from the toss. The Titans, they've won it. It continues the trend. Every captain so far choosing to bowl first.
New Jersey Titans winning the toss and choosing to field first, and rightly so, because they want to know exactly how much to chase, with the catchphrase being just if the rain comes. Now New Jersey Titans, Harmeet Singh, the skipper, Andres House ready to rock. Aaron Jones is getting a game today. Javon Seals is in the side. Mohammad Mohsin is very handy with the ball too. Mukhtar Ahmed was sensational in the first game. Nawan Anwar, Rajnan and Ziaul Haq with that extra bit of pace. Trevon Griffith and Saurabh Netravalkar, very, very deceptive left armour. Maryland Mavericks would be captained by Jasdeep Singh, experienced indeed. Noshtosh Kenjige, USA quality, international quality. Dwayne Smith, Saiteja Mukamala, the youngster, gets a go today, and he loves this ground too. Ravindrapal Singh from Canada, Neil Broom, Raymond Ramratan, Shubham Ranjane, Ronaldo, Ali Mohammed, Fani Simadri again with his cutters, and Abdullah Had Malik behind the wicket. Would want to be less scratchy this time around though. Now let's go down to Mike Hazeman, who's got the pitch and the conditions would be explained by Nikhil Uttam Chandani too.
The first bit of good news is we have cricket, which is terrific because we had nothing yesterday because almost 10 inches of rain fell. That's a massive amount of rain. There's floods in the streets, all sorts of stuff. Now, this doesn't look great from the drone's point of view, but let me tell you, the ground staff worked so hard, this is now hard in itself, so we're good. Drone, cheers, mate. I'll see you a little bit later. Right, I want to look at the pitch and have a good look at the track that we can be playing on. It's the same track that we were playing on for the first couple of days. Now, let me just go down and have a look because there's not much of a sheen on this. Now, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all because it's an absolute miracle that we've got a game on here and the ground staff have done such a great job to keep this nice and dry and this whole pitch area dry. The run-ups are good as well. So it's all terrific to go. And I think the track's going to be on the slow side. There won't be much bounce at all, but it's up to the batsmen to get used to playing on it and also for the spinners to really work hard on this surface as well because the seamers won't get a lot and we'll get a lot of change of pace as well. But that's one part of the situation. Nikhil now is going to tell us about the outfield and see how that is. Nikhil?
Well, time to look at the ground and how conditions are out here in terms of the outfield. You mentioned the rain, Mike. 99 millimeters of rain in the last 24 hours. That is a lot for this ground to take, and it's why head curator Milton and his team have had to work tirelessly hard. They've been here for the last 7 hours. They were working even last night, getting the ground ready in terms of even when the rain was falling. So they have done an excellent job to help us get the action. And now for the players, well, there are a few things that they will have to monitor in terms of today's weather. There are a few factors. One, temperatures can get as high as 27 degrees Celsius, so we hope that that sun can come in soon and help continue to dry out this outfield. But the main thing I'm watching is the wind factor coming from the eastern side of the ground because the wind gusts can get up to 65 kilometers per hour today. So as a bowler, you want to use that to your advantage, but as a batter, you want to be hitting with that eastern wind. Regardless, we have action and we can't wait.
Outwalk the two umpires. Thank you so much, Nikhil. He mentioned the wind factor, and it just picked up as he mentioned too. Now the bowler needs to use it according to what style of bowling he's chosen. Does he bowl with the wind? Against it would be a little tricky, and the batter will also have a close watch on which side the flags are fluttering. It's going to be a truncated game of 18 overs. We didn't lose much, just 2 overs, 18 overs. Still going to be the same excitement. And Harmeet Singh is ensuring that the last orders are also being heard by every single person. Andres Kaus behind the wicket today. Would be an interesting watch indeed. Winning the toss and choosing to field first, the NJ Titans. And the reason being, they know the threat of rain looms large, more than what the surface has to offer. Harmeet Singh, Andres Kaus, Aaron Jones in the side, Javon Seals towards your left. Mohammad Mohsin's going to be very handy. Mukhtar Ahmed is in form. Norman Anwar, Raj Nandan, it's a brilliant side indeed. Ziaul Haq will be raring to go again. And guess who else will be hankering to be out there? Smith with a bat in hand, and that's what he's got here for Maryland Mavericks. He's been given the go by the management to open the innings and create havoc. Stand and deliver. If it had a synonym, it shall be Smith. He's got so much power in the torso that if he hits it, the ball just stays hit. It's a beautiful cricket ground this, and we really wish that the rain stays away so that it remains basking in this beauty. And what better than playing cricket on it? We've lost a fair share of games due to rain gods winning. Now it should be about cricket winning. It's getting a little darker, but Neil Broom will brighten up your day with those big shots. 162 games, 3,600 runs. Boy, can he bat. He's got 21 half centuries and he's also converted one of them into a big century. Neil Broom loves this cricket ground too, let me tell you. But as always, it's going to be Smith to take strike. 339 games, a lot of experience, loves to bat up top. Did that brilliantly back in India as well for a very known franchise in IPL. 47 half centuries, just tells you that if he gets off to a flying start, he's unstoppable. And Saurav Netravalkar is as well unstoppable when he gets a little bit of swing, just enough to kiss the outside edge. The captains awarded him with a slip, of course, because of the windy conditions. I'm Seaosn, joined by Andrew Leonard. That was quick, coming up here for the toss.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Seaos. Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be into action, and hard to explain how miraculous the recovery has been of this ground. On our drive today, there was fields that were now lakes. That's how much rain we've had. So miraculous, heroic work from the ground staff. We cannot praise them enough. And we're all so delighted to be back into action. Two very good teams here. And it's all now over to the players as we're all set for game 11.
Into swing, but lovely wrist. The first runs on the board for Maryland Mavericks. Saurabh Netravalkar off late has developed a habit of going cross seam even first up. There you see Milton and Co, the ground staff. They've been absolutely brilliant. They've been excellent also because of the grit they've shown. There were ponds, there were puddles, everything was all about water actually. And then the entire ground was looking like an extension of Everglades here in Florida. But it's these men that you see on the screen who believed otherwise and said, we will get this match ready. And that's exactly why we have cricket today. Good slower delivery to Saurabh Netravalkar. He's trying to bowl the cutters as well, Andrew. That's exactly why you bring the slip into play. You love the angle too.
Just talk about the ground staff first, Suhas. It's hard to explain the contrast between yesterday and today. You look at this scene yesterday, you're saying that we're out of action for 2 or 3 days minimum. And in fact, in many parts of the world you would have been, but heroic work from every single one of the men and women. We came all day through the rain yesterday to make sure all the covers did their work. We're back into action. The good news is, forecast coming up really, really good for Friday on.
Backward point, no run though. Brooms in control. Yeah, the ground staff have been excellent. They've also had to curate certain spots where water had seeped through, and that's been dried off too. That's exactly why you see this brilliant surface. We've got another game on the same surface as well, and you hope that it stays the same. Under lights, it tends to change a little bit. Still very, very effective when it comes to good quality cricket. That's a very good delivery. Very compact looking Saurabh Netravalkar. He sometimes has this habit of coming close to the stump as well, just to change the release point. That makes the batter play a wrong line altogether.
I think my anticipations for this wicket, obviously it's naturally going to be a little bit slower than it was. It spent about 36 hours completely under the covers, but it is bone dry. And again, great testament to the curators to have kept it that dry. I think if anything, the outfield will cause a few more problems. It's a little bit soft in patches, so strokes along the ground might not quite get the same reward.
This time he gets it in the gap, a very wide third man though. The ball's slowing down on its own because of the outfield that's yet to be dried. But the surface is absolutely dry. Broom's been searching for that shot for a couple of times. He found only fielders and no run. This time around he gets his first. Will make him feel much better. And look how late he plays the shot as well.
But here is what you'll see. Look at how much slower that outfield is than 48 hours ago. And again, the fielders will have to just be a little bit careful on their feet too. Might have to adjust the targeted total. We were thinking 160 plus in the first couple of days of the tournament. That may change today.
So far, Twain's played 2 deliveries, both of them hit down on the ground. He's someone who doesn't care for the outfield because he usually hits it high. 2 without a wicket after the first one. Make it 3 with that single. The eyes go to Saiteja Mukamala getting a game today, the youngster. He's been sensational every time he's got an opportunity, loves this format too. Jasdeep Kenjige, Dwayne, Ravindrapal, Broom, Raymond, Shubham Ranjane. Be interesting to see if he bowls as well. When it's windy, Ziaul Haq is screaming, give me the ball. Not the ideal line to start with, but Ziaul Haq is going to set the batter up to go for that extravagant drive once again. 4 for no loss.
Yeah, do have that one change now for the rest of the group stages, and indeed the all-important knockouts on Monday, Tuesday next week, with the impact player as an option. The way that works, you can have 3 or 4 players named from your reserves, and when the umpire gets those crossed arms up above the head, we will see them switch in. Often you'll see it, we saw it in the IPL, didn't we, this year? Somebody who's already batted will be replaced by a bowler for the second innings.
Well curtailed despite the ball bouncing a little bit more than expected. First boundary for Broom. And this is why Broom can become unstoppable as well. It's not a very poor delivery. Ziaul Haq sensed that Broom was dancing down the track. Still, he had it in him to access the gap as well. Very steady head.
A lot of experience too. 39 years of age, has all that first-class experience in New Zealand. Interesting to see that he's coming down the track, trying to put the pace onto the ball. It's not going to be a quick wicket today, I don't think.
So far, we get to see a genuine waft from both the paces, be Ziaul Haq or Saurabh Netravalkar.
Yeah, they're contrasting kinds of left-armers, aren't they? Netravalkar's really a swing bowler who shapes it back in. And Ziaul Haq comes in and he bashes it into the wicket, bowls it into the pitch. That's why I think they'll actually complement each other nicely. Trevon Griffith there at slip in the background, looking for the one angling across.
Not from the middle of the bat, but still somewhat in the gap. The second could be a challenge, but Norman Unwar decides to go around it rather than collect it and get the dispatch going. 2 more runs taken. A lot of running between the wickets is something that you can sense, especially because the outfield is slow. Some of the good shots that will deserve 4 otherwise can be turned into 1s and 2s. He didn't time it too well either.
This is where, as an opening batter, you have to adjust to the conditions. You have to find a way to score in this power play in particular.
Much better, he's tied him down. Curtailing the options of the batter when you do not give him room, and with that angle, he had to create his own room if he wanted runs, Dwayne.
The way in which you adjust to those conditions will also take into account this, the fact that we've got an 18 overs per side clash. We were due to start at 2 p.m. local time. We've got underway an hour after that. I think we'll be fine for this evening. The floodlights will kick in for the 3rd match of the day. Full T20 then.
Not in control, but fine legs inside the circle. He's got the luck required too. The ball will plonk just before the boundary rope. 2 overs gone, 16 without a wicket. (16 for no loss in 2 overs. It's an 18-over game. 3 bowlers can bowl 4 overs and 2 can bowl 3. It's up to Captain Harmeet Singh to decide who can bowl the entire quarter of 4 and whom you want to utilize for 3 overs, including himself. That's an option. An over by a pacer from either end. Now what has the captain decided? It's Rajnanan. Again, very seasoned campaigner, loves to bowl in the power play too. Be interesting to see how the wind is utilized, something that Nikhil mentioned before the game started too. The batter can utilize in his favour by hitting it towards the wind so that the wind can act as a courier service to carry it beyond the rope easily. Rajnanan can generate that little bit of drift too. You want to use the conditions to your advantage. No slip in place. But House is ready to whip the bails off in case Dwayne dances down the track. Straight down the ground, hit very, very hard.
Yeah, keep your eyes on Rocky Rajnanan, outstanding cricketer, 31 years of age, from Guyana, has played a bit of franchise cricket, was over in Nepal at the start of the year. This was nearly an incredible deflection back onto the stumps at the non-striker's end. He doesn't turn the ball a huge amount. He's a very tall bowler. He's a control bowler, so he'll use angle and changes of those angles, and he will, like you say, like to bowl in the power play. He was outstanding, I thought, in Kathmandu at the start of the year. Someone that I think has a big future in terms of ascending up the grades here. Spends a lot of time in the United States, even though he's from Guyana. Very, very talented cricketer. Keep your eyes on him for the rest of the USPL.
It length a little bit, just a little bit, and the ball sails over. Dwayne was waiting for this delivery. His eyes went agog as soon as he found it in the slot. Much needed 6 after 3 dot balls strung together.
He's almost having to rely on instinct here, isn't he, Dwayne Smith? I don't think he's got near the pitch of this, really. It's just all wrists and hands and decades of hitting sixes all around the world, which is what Dwayne Smith has done for so long. You can see almost a shake of the head, not happy with the shot, but he does get half a dozen. That's how good Dwayne Smith is. Even when he's not quite got there, he gets good reward, and that instinct has got him 6.
These are things that you make an NFT of, perhaps. Very, very rare. A batter hitting a 6 and not being happy with himself. Cleared it by a mile, though. Rajnanan, what does he do? 3 good deliveries, 4th not so good delivery, because Dwayne was able to tonk that away. Not that he reached the pitch of the ball. Very gingerly there, very gingerly. Especially all the fast bowlers in the deep. They want to think twice before the slide, because the outfield in certain places still a little iffy. This is much better from Raj. Every time he's gone on the off stump itself, it served him well. What an over this has turned out to be. Will retain strike with a gentle nudge. 23 for no loss in 3 overs, the Mavericks. $23 for no loss in 3. Saurabh Netravalkar, excellent first over. Yet to create the opportunity, sir. The captain's given him a change of ends. Would it bring a change in fortune too? Usually loves these conditions. Overcast, a pacer bowling in with a fluttering jersey. You would love it. Mid on, once it beats him, despite a slow outfield, it'll have enough fuel to reach the fence because Dwayne tonks it with a lot of power.
Bottom hand, this is all bottom hand again. It's by no means fluent or out of the middle of the bat, but it's effective, and that's really all that matters. He's made a living all over the world. There's barely a league that Dwayne Smith hasn't played in. Pakistan, to India, to South Africa, to England. And there, although it's a bit agricultural, it's very effective and not the sharpest piece of fielding. That mid-on fielder should know, generally, Smith is going to beat him to his right. The bottom hand will come in, so he's got to be right on the edge of the circle and maybe 2 yards to his right. The angle's wrong, and as a consequence, we've had a change in field. The long on is going to drop out. Both short third and short fine now up in the circle.
We'll let this one go. Power is never a problem for Dwayne. Timing is here a little bit. Still, he's got the runs required too, 17 or 12. The ball is disappearing for 4, sometimes flying over the fence. And yet he's discovering the middle of the bat. That's Dwayne for you.
That's the field there. So long on has gone out as a consequence of that one stroke. Smith isn't the kind necessarily to get down on one knee and ramp or scoop. But there is still a massive gap if he can get it over the mid-wicket fielder in the air between long on and deep square.
He's gone through with the extravagant drive. This was pure control and class too from Dwayne. No half measures. Very, very good shot of cricket.
This is a poor delivery from an excellent operator. The change of ends for Netravalkar hasn't worked. That's a half volley. That's a buffet ball. Stand up there and hit me. And Dwayne Smith says thank you very much. He's never express paced Netravalkar. High 70 miles per hour, 120, 125 kilometers per hour usually on the gun. But he's usually so effective because of his accuracy. This time, twice in the over, he has erred, and as a consequence, he's going to change his angle. He'll come around the wicket now.
Dwayne standing outside the crease as well to meet the ball early. And he's also walking towards the bowler. Oh, this is good work by third man inside the circle. Shields. Still had to throw. He still had to throw. Just for an instant. Broom wanted that single. Dwayne said no. He wanted another, that is. They were able to squeeze a single though with that big dive. I thought this was cheeky. Opening the face of the bat at the last moment. Because had it gone past this man, you're guaranteed at least a couple of runs.
Yeah, great effort from Searles getting the body on the line. Definitely 3 runs saved there. Good start this for the Mavericks. I thought they might have to adjust their target a bit lesser in terms of the 160, 170 that they might have wanted. And mid-on says, I don't want the drone that close to me. I'm not used to him. I don't like the blades above my head.
It makes for great viewing, but the sound of it is what's troubling him. That's no music. The angles work this time around for Broom. Sort of Netravalkar angling it into the right-hander. But Broom knows that a couple of boundaries have been achieved in the over already. I think it's the first time the bowling of NJ Titans is being tested in USPL 2023. In the 5-over fiesta, they knew exactly what the cushion is, the bowlers. Much better from Saurabh, watching the batter till the last moment, who still picks up a single. When you dance down the track like that, you've covered a few yards already, so that's less to get when you complete the 22 yards for a single.
Yeah, combined age of nearly 80 between these two at the crease. They've got experience all over the world. And Broom right now has recognised that it's actually Smith that he wants on strike. Good piece of fielding by Harmeet Singh, but Smith would have safely been home. Smith is that devastating, particularly in the power play. He can take a game away from the opposition. Very much out of that Rohit Sharma, the sort of Paul Sterling mould of a devastating T20 player. The first 6 overs, they're the ones that he loves, and he'll keep the strike with 4 bowled. It's 35 for none.
35 without a wicket after being asked to bat first by NJ Titans. The Mavericks. Dwayne Smith is looking dangerous now. 23 of 15, but the kind of shots that he's now started to play are screaming from the middle of the bat. He'd be a content captain now. He'd be a content captain with the way this has begun. Nandan. Just love that length as well. Confusing Smith to whether commit on the front foot or rock back on the back foot. Interestingly, Smith's someone who usually stays in the crease and smashes it away because of the power. But he's also danced down the track a little bit. Sweep hasn't worked. Good anticipation by the keeper, Andres Kaus. What could have been a boundary is now a dot ball. He's hit himself there. Just the amount of air he's giving to Dwayne Smith, who's set is something that warrants a bravery award for Raj Nandan, and all this is happening inside the power play.
This is the arm ball. This is flatter through the air, and it's the line which is key. It's cramped him up. He's not able to free his arms to get it down through his favourite long on region. Very, very clever bowler is Rocky Raj Nandan. Really like the way he goes about his work. It's highly, highly accurate, highly effective, and very, very economical. I think he's got a high ceiling. I think he can play up levels. No doubt about that. And he'll want to use this USPL 2023 to show what he can offer. Surprised he missed out the first game, really was. He started nicely. Look at that, 10 deliveries, just 8 runs.
It's sort of going for runs. He had to keep it tight. So far so good, but not this time. Brooms found the gap. Sweeps it away. Once it beat the square leg fielder towards his right, there was no chance because he's got such good hands and precision. He was so sure that he wants to plonk that front foot and put that away nicely.
Brilliant exploitation of the field. Yes, there's a man up in the ring at square leg, but once he beat him, he knew he'd get 4. Only 2 men allowed in the deep. Long on and deep mid-wicket. Very clever batting from Broom.
Wanting to be cheeky, but did he change completely? White ball signal. Raj Nandan says, I think I was bowling to a left-hander suddenly.
Well, no, I think Raj Nandan's right here. Look at where the batter is. He's a step and a half across his stumps. That wide guideline should go with him. That, for me, is a dot ball. And I think the umpire, very harsh on the left arm spinner at that time. 5 overs bowled. It's 41 for none.
Just look at the games today. Fortunately, match 10 was abandoned due to rain. Match number 11, Titans and the Mavericks in progress, and the Chicago Patriots and also the Carolina Eagles. Match number 12 up next. That one's going to be under lights. Right, so the 5 overs is done, so that's the power play in this game because it's 18 overs each. Great to have some sunshine as well, briefly. There's a lovely shot from the drone. The drone early today couldn't go up because of the wind and the issues that we did have with that. So good to see. That's always good news when you get the big drone shots from some distance away. That means things have calmed down a little bit from the wind department, and of course also from the rain department as well, which is the most important bit. Leg side for starters. It's going to be called a wide, but pretty tidy stuff from the Mavericks at the moment. 42 for none after 5, and it's my great pleasure to introduce Nikhil Uttamchandani. Let me get that right. Who's zipped him from Barbados to join us. Nikhil, welcome.
Yeah, good day to you, Mike. Good day to all the viewers.
I'm really happy to be here at the US Premier League. The way it's developed over the years. Third phase. This is in the gap. Well played by Smith. He's found the boundary regularity today when they've been on that shorter length.
He's a seasoned player, Seaosn, so he will know how strong Smith is with those short deliveries and anything, in fact, on the leg side. So he'll be totally aware that on a slow surface like this, you certainly shouldn't be banging it halfway down, because he's got so much time, always has had, to play those shots, controlled shots. How much time he's got, rolls the wrist and everything. No dramas at all, off that front foot as well from Smith. That's an important boundary early in this over.
They'll take this in a big way after they lost the toss. Asked about first, the Mavericks. Missing his radar there. Just mentioning though, Mike, in terms of the three phases you've had, Dwayne Smith was one who was there in phase one when this tournament was played in New York. So it's great to see that someone of his caliber, his quality, can return now with the tournament at this level in Florida.
I was having a chat to a couple of the owners, actually, of the Mavericks, and they were saying how important these two guys are, Smith and Broom, in the change room in particular. It's important to get the right players, but it's important to get the right people. Sit in that back room, behind the scenes that no one gets a chance to have a look at. These guys spend so much time with some of the younger guys as they strive to go forward in their games. So that's always great to hear. It's one of the most important things about franchise cricket around the world these days, and there's so much of it that you've got to make sure you get the right individuals. Important game this, because the Titans are on 3 points, and the Mavericks are also on 3, but 2 and 4 on that list. And that's because they've got greater wins. Hence the New Jersey Titans being on 2nd spot and the Mavericks being 4th. That's the first consideration, the number of wins, and the second one is the net run rate. But it shows how important this game is, because have a look at all the no results. That's because of all the rain we've had, the NRs. Look at all those no results. And we've got 4 teams on 4 points. On 3 points.
Yeah, this has been good from Seaosn. Just watching them bowl to Dwayne Smith in this inning so far, when they've gone good length and gone straight, he's been quite happy to just tuck it in the onside for 1. Yes, he missed his length early, was pulled, but they've packed that leg side with 3 deep and so far controlled him. They want his wicket though, because they know how explosive he can become.
Done pretty well actually with that boundary off the second ball, that short delivery to Smith. Seaosn, so he's apart from the wide, the next ball, so a couple of wides and a 4 in the first 3, and then 2 dot balls and 2 ones. So he's tracked it back after the initial error with that boundary in particular, I suppose.
Yeah, now deep third comes into the circle, and a 4th fielder now on that leg side, and it's good thinking from the captain as well, because he has to hit into the wind if he wants to take on that leg side. Good over after the boundary from Seaosn. 50 without loss. Productive opening stand for these two in the middle for the Mavericks. The first time they've had an opportunity to bat in this USPL after the rain, and a good start, a measured start, but Dwayne Smith, as always, went through the gears well. He's got experience playing here in Fort Lauderdale, recently at the US T10 Masters, and any width he will capitalize. This has gone up, straight up, and just has enough to go over long on.
Just has enough because of the wind. At one stage, he thought he was in the game, number 21. But just at the last minute, this wind takes this ball because it was hit so high. And then suddenly it just, a little bit of a gust there, just took it over the top. So big problems. Javon Sills. Good fortune there for Smith, otherwise that would have been done if there's no breeze.
I'm quite surprised that Harmeet Singh didn't come into the attack a bit earlier. But Dwayne Smith, you can see his intention, and given the batting lineup that they have, and this is an 18 over affair, they have to go a bit earlier. A lot of power to come. It's been a good approach by these two. But yeah, surprised given the way Smith has batted against left-arm spin in his career, Mike, that Harmeet Singh, who's known for bowling that new ball and getting it to drift, maybe didn't think about himself in that first 5 overs, just in that power play.
No doubt Broom is playing the supporting role at the moment. We saw a sweep, a good solid sweep from him, as you'd expect, I suppose, from Neil Broom. But he's done the backup role at this stage. Smith is the aggressor, 37 off 26. Broom going at pretty much a runner ball at this stage.
3 deep on the onside, so should just be the one.
Yeah, that's good work. Nice buzz in the field from Jersey at the moment.
Productive over again for the Mavericks. 9 from it, 59 without loss.
Skip, we're still 3 minutes down here, Skipper. We have to pick it up. We're still 3 minutes down here, guys. Let's go, let's go.
As Donovan Miller, the man closest to the camera, he's the coach of the New Jersey Titans. He's a terrific coach. He's been a trophy-winning coach at some of the franchises around the place. And someone who puts a lot of time in with the team and really likes to work hard with the guys to make sure they've got the right mental approach. He himself was a former quick bowler in Barbados and as a younger guy, and had a couple of back strains, a couple of back injuries, a fracture as well. And he turned to coaching at a young age, and he's coached all around the place. Involved at Somerset as well in the UK, but great to see him here coaching with the New Jersey Titans at the moment.
It will be Javon Searles into the attack. And that is what he'll do. And these two will know each other well, both from Barbados, and Searles and Smith. But on these surfaces, someone like Javon Searles, Kesrick Williams, who we'll see later on, can be so effective because of the ability to take pace off the ball. Went for 18 in that over. That 5 over fixture a couple of days ago when they played the Cowboys, so he'll want to rectify that. But very skilled at taking pace off, many different variations.
Sliding leg side. Donovan Miller was having a long chat with his troops before this game got underway, before they started their warm-up, actually their drills. And I'm sure that's one of the things we would have been talking about, because on this surface, it's always such a handy thing. Taking the pace off the ball, bowling with cutters, and just making sure that you don't become predictable. That's the important thing. Occasionally, if you can, bowl that quick, short bouncer every now and then just to surprise the batsman. But the cutters are really important. The slow balls as well, but they've got to be disguised.
Sliding down. Decent decision by the umpire there, because just the angle that Searles is bowling from. But this is going to be a plan that you see pretty much throughout the tournament, just because of how strong that wind from the eastern side of the ground is. So these power hitters like Smith and Broom will need to figure out ways to score through that offside, because everyone is trying to force them to hit into the wind. Sorry. That's huge. Yeah, Dwayne Smith, very capable of that and much more.
He'll be looking for anything at that sort of length. He knows that there's not any great pace coming his way at the moment, so he's got plenty of time to line up the bowler. And this is just the perfect length for Smith once he's in, and he's in well and truly now. Underneath that, launches it a long way. That's beautifully played. It's into whatever wind there is, and it's gone some distance past the playing arena.
A rare seam-up delivery from Searles and misses length.
They've got themselves an ideal platform now. 18 over game this one. One ball away from completing 8 overs, 68 for 1. So it's really good work at this stage, going at 7.5 runs the over. Plenty of batting to come, but these two guys are doing it easy at this stage on a surface which is nice to bat on. No pace in it whatsoever. Got to do a lot of work against the bowlers, but so far so good for them.
Will be wide. I liked as well, Mike, what I heard from Jasdeep Singh, the captain of the Mavericks at the toss. He mentioned, even though they've got to bat first, captains have been inclined to bowl first. He understands that there are runs when you bat first here, and I don't think conditions will change too much because it's been overcast throughout the day. That wind will be pretty high going into the evening as well. But they conceded 97 in 9 overs before the rains came a couple of days ago, bowling first, so they understand this surface, and also that they can post a competitive total on the board and try to use that as scoreboard pressure. On the leg side again.
Few too many extras at the moment. A couple on the string at this stage. Also in that batting player, there were batting power play we saw not so long ago. There were the lengths on the bowlers were not consistent. They were either short or too full. They weren't getting it quite right. So that's why it enabled the opening batsman for the Maryland Mavericks to get out of the blocks quickly. Didn't have to work too hard at that stage in the first 5 overs.
Yeah, he brought deep third into the circle. Won't get to the boundary, but I think it's quite smart from Broom, just to manipulate the field. Good way to end Searles' first over, 11 from it, 72 for none. Well, what a start. You can see how quickly they've gone through the gears, the Mavericks. Rightfully so. It's been a good surface, actually. The ball's come onto the bat pretty nicely. These two have used conditions well to find the boundary, even in a heavyish outfield. Harmeet Singh, the captain, will continue. Look at that batting lineup to come. Kamala, Ravinder Paul Singh, the Canadian international, Ranjane for his all-round experience, a lot of power. That will be 6 more, and it'll be a half century for Dwayne Smith. First opportunity to bat in this competition, catches in. What a start this is.
33 balls, 51, 4 sixes, 3 fours. That was a fine shot. Didn't have to get any wind assistance on that occasion. He gives the ball a good thump, that's for sure. He's powerfully built and has always liked that area. That's right out of the middle, perhaps a little bit lower than the absolute sweet spot, but good enough for him, that's for sure. Nice sound off that bat, and that travels without any great effort from him. Not muscling it, relying on timing in general. Nice shot.
It's amazing the things he has achieved at age 40, Dwayne Smith, with all of his experience, still able to play in these franchise leagues and dominate. US T10 Masters here in August did well, and we'll want to have a good USPL to go with that.
It's almost 9.4 at the moment per over. Getting close to 170 at this rate.
Tin has some thinking to do, Harmeet Singh. Yeah, I've been loving the media coverage around this tournament. Mike, you would have seen Dwayne Smith here at this ground just a couple months ago for the T10 Masters tournament.
I saw him get his first Test 100 as well in Cape Town. He burst onto the scene there. I think it was his first game, if I'm not mistaken. It was a magnificent century late in the day. And I followed him pretty closely from that moment on. And he played beautifully, actually, in that game. Some really important knocks in that Master Series, I should say. Some very important knocks, and always in a hurry.
Buddy.
81 for none. Been an authoritative start from the Mavericks openers. Dwayne Smith leading the way. Neil Broom supporting him well in terms of the rotation of strike. 54 deliveries, only 21 dots faced by these two, and they've set the platform for a lot of batting to come.
Yeah, it really couldn't be much better than this, that's for sure. 60 balls, 81 partnership. Really good work. Allows the rest of the guys to come out when they do arrive, if they do arrive, I suppose, at this stage, to play with lots of freedom. Wasn't surprised in that last over to see Neil Broom just to step on the gas a little bit. He's had a terrific career. 160 T20 games, 39 ODIs for New Zealand, a couple of test matches, 149 first-class games. Lots of experience with Broom, so look at him to try and match Smith now and try and really up this run rate.
I just wonder when we'll see leg spinner Mohammed Mohsin into the attack. Searles continues. The inside edge fortuitous, but they'll take it. It's been that type of day for Smith.
That's a disappointing way to start the over for the bowler. Searles, unfortunately, it's the worst thing can happen. Wasn't too far away from that leg stump. He'll get further exasperated.
He's got those three fielders on the onside in front of square, so that's why there's discussion now. How do you stop this man, Dwayne Smith? Just so powerful. Done it for so many years, decades in this format.
strike rate now, 154 from Smith. That's outstanding.
It was an opportunity, never easy though, especially the way he's timed the ball. Let's go down to Roshni, who has a special guest.
I'm here with Coach Dookie from the Maryland Mavericks. Coach, so far the team hasn't had a chance to bat. They're finally in to bat, and what a partnership they've brought from the experienced players.
So that could tell you that the hunger they need to come out here, because since we reached here, we had just played half of a game, and we're in a hotel for the past couple of days. So it shows you that they are raring to go, and both the guys out there have international experience, and they're showing it presently.
And being a coach of a side that has that experience, does that make your job easier?
Well, they help with the younger guys, not because I'm the coach. I take fully charge. I designate people in certain areas, I ask the younger guys, the inexperienced guys, to be like a sponge and see what we could gather from these guys.
And have these guys that are batting out there, have they given a lot of, motivation to the guys? 3 days of not really having any action, finally getting a chance and hopefully a full game as well.
Well, the thing is, we didn't really do much about cricket because, we're not playing and you don't want to have them flustered with cricket all the time. We just had them in a relaxed mood. We had little meetings, short meetings, and it shows.
Lastly, what do you think would be a good target for these guys?
We're looking for probably 180 plus, anything more than that, because we have wickets in hand. The stage is set to finish strong.
Well, thank you, Coach. All the best, and back to the comm box.
Thank you.
And fine leg was put back on the boundary, so will just be a single. Good to hear from Bhudesh Doki, the head coach of the Mavericks from Trinidad and Tobago. He's been with the Mavericks now for the last 3 years.
Quite like his call about the target of 180. As they're certainly on track at this stage. If they continue at this rate, they go at 163. If they go at 11 per over from here, they get to the 179 mark, which you would think with 10 wickets in hand, that should be well within their reach.
Just my observations of this tournament, that 5-over encounter they had a couple days ago with the Titans involved, I think it was just a taste into what could happen on these surfaces with these small boundaries.
And they have brought the boundaries in just about a yard, I think, or some areas 2 yards, just to make sure that there's no wet areas that are going to come into play. Were 1 or 2 little damp areas, so they wanted to take them totally out of the field, and everyone's going to be okay. 10 overs gone, 89 for none.
Well, been all about the man in your shot, hasn't it? Dwayne Smith, outstanding. He has quite simply done this for decades, not for years. He's made a living all around the world, clubbing bowlers, particularly in the power play. One of the very original T20 specialists, even though he actually made his name making a century on his Test match debut down in South Africa. He's been all around the world and he's done it everywhere. Andrew Leonard here with you, delighted to have Aryan Singh with me for the first time today. Aryan, so good to be back playing.
Very good afternoon to you, Andrew. Cricket, lovely cricket returns here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
You've had 2 days to work on that line, haven't you? Down the ground, where's this one gone? All the way! It's what Dwayne Smith does. If it's up and into the arc, he's going to hit it out of the park.
Now he's creamed that away like a topping on apple pie. A beautiful shot. Look at that. Mohsin over pitches his first over. And wow, a beautiful shot from Dwayne Smith up and over. Don't see that typically from someone like Mohammad Mohsin, but you bowl like that to an experienced campaigner like Smith is going up and over.
Yeah, the lengths I think have been a little bit wrong. This time powerfully swept. The umpire has to take evasive action. Might have even clipped him, did it? When Smith hits it, it stays hit. It's been just for me a little bit of a lack of intent in terms of the bowling. When you win the toss and choose to bowl first, you can't just go out there and put it there. To get it into the right areas, and they haven't done that consistently enough.
They haven't been really executing on their plans.
Interesting they've waited so long to get the highly impressive leg spinner into the game. He's had a fantastic year here in the United States. Not a big turner of the ball, generally just skids it on a touch. And Broom fancies a piece of it and gets it all the way. A great acrobatic effort right on the rope, but Trevon Griffith can't keep it inside it. The runs keep coming, the 100's up. 11 bowled, 103 for none.
Striker, left arm around. Striker, left arm around. Left arm around. Still moving here, guys. We're still moving.
Now, one thing about Neil Broom, he just hit a 6 that last ball. His strike rate wasn't similar to Dwayne Smith's, but he's picked it back up. They have no wickets lost so far, and you can see right here, they've been starting off very well. The captain has thrown it back to his main bowler, Sarab Nettlevarker.
Yeah, and it's another double-digit over, isn't it? Just a flick of the wrists from Dwayne Smith. Well, that is sensational. Absolutely sensational. He's got nowhere near this. And just with power, a little bit of timing, and the strongest wrists in the game, it's all the way for what's now the highest score of this year's USPL. Goes into the 70s.
Yeah, he hasn't really batted a game. A beautiful shot from Neil Broom. And now back to back. Look at Dwayne Smith, hasn't even batted once. And he said today, I'm here to beat some ball.
Yeah, back-to-back maximums. That was the last ball of the previous over, now followed by dismissing the former American captain with real disdain. Remember, Netravalkar is one of the most economical bowlers in the world of associate cricket, full stop. In ODI cricket, he's a ludicrous record. Economy rate under 4. Feels to me as though the bowlers, they've just been putting it there. There hasn't been that intent or sense of the bowling plans that you'd like to see. And the captain must be ever so frustrated, Harmeet Singh.
Surprised also not to see Aaron Jones have ball in hand yet. Right arm leg spinner, the USA vice captain. Wicket hasn't been turning much, Andrew. It's been skidding on a bit. Slight bit of turn, but not too much. A bit more handy for the Pacers.
So we've had a couple of days off, haven't we? Well, a day and a half with the rain. You need to tell me something now, Aryan Singh, the youngster beside me. He's got to be honest. Have you been playing some cricket in the hallways of the team hotel with your teammates?
Now, one person I've been playing with is Kesrick. He bowled 2 balls to me up, drove it pretty nice, came in running, bowled short, walked up to me, said, "Good morning, youngster."
Well, Kesrick, I suspect the old checkbook was being written up. The celebration you know so well. Flicked into the leg side, just be a single. It is one of the things I love about our sport. You can play it anywhere, even when it's piling rain, thunderstorms and floods everywhere. Get into the hallway, maybe get the edge of the bat out. You can't use the full face then. Is that the game you were playing?
It's more of one tip, the beautiful game of one tip. One bounce, catch it with one hand. Kesrick did get the better of me, though. I have to say that. Someone of his experience has to get someone like that.
You're not the first, you won't be the last either, Aryan Singh. I can assure you of that. He's a star, isn't he, Kesrick Williams? And Broom is just starting to grow in confidence. I think he realises there's 10 wickets in hand. He needs to find a way to get that strike rate, which is hovering around 120, up towards 140, 150 if he can. And if he doesn't, get out and get a number 3, number 4 in.
Can we please ask
It seems like both of them have come with a plan too, Andrew. One person is playing the anchor role while the other one is the aggressor. And that's what's making this Maryland Mavericks side very beneficial, putting up a big score to start with, putting pressure on the undefeated New Jersey Titans. Haven't lost a wicket yet either, Andrew, so maybe you might be seeing a bit more explosive stuff with the remaining overs to come.
Poor line again and whipped away for 6 more. Broom is getting that strike rate up above north of 140 now. It's his second maximum and his acceleration is coming at the perfect possible time. It's 118 for none. Now look at these tower blocks. It's like downtown Miami there, isn't it? Those skyscrapers building up consistently for the Maryland Mavericks.
Yeah, big overs there, Andrew. Not very consistent bowling. The captain has given himself the ball, Harmeet Singh. Now Harmeet Singh, left arm.
Nice line, that's hidden away. He's not intending to bowl that into the hitting arc because he knows what will happen. And that's been given as a wide. I can't believe that. I was a spin bowler myself, Aryan. If I was being wided there, my overs never would have ended.
Yeah, Harmeet Singh, one thing I like about him, and we'll go back to the 6. Sorry, correction, go back to that wide.
Would have been the never-ending over if I was out there with umpire wide in those ones. Very, very marginal at best. And fans now coming in, evening time action. We'll expect good crowds, particularly tomorrow and Saturday. Remember, 3 games a day, every day of this USPL. So I think it's going to really start heating up now with the points table being so close. There's every chance this will not just go to the final day, the top 4 spots, maybe even the final 21st group match.
Yeah, it's anyone's game. Rain has interrupted our tournament and has shown us that it really is anyone's game. The New Jersey Titans on paper seem like one of the stronger sides. However, real and truly is anyone's game at this point. A lot of cricket still to be played.
I agree with you. I thought coming into the rain delay yesterday, I thought the Titans had been the most impressive of the 7 sides that we'd seen in action. And by quite a distance too. I would have made them the early tournament's favourites, but the way the Mavericks are going, despite Harmeet Singh's excellence in this over, well, they're making it look like an imposing total, 180 plus on the cards.
Yeah, a better over, a better beginning for Harmeet Singh. One thing I like about him is he just darts the ball in. Not much air, he just lets it drift, lets it go through, gives less time for the batsman to play.
And as a bowler, particularly a young spin bowler, if you're watching this, you're always better full than short. So okay, that was a low full toss. You might think it's a bad ball, but it's actually a pretty difficult one to get away because of the trajectory and the angle and the curve and the dip that he's getting. He's getting action on the ball. Look at that grip, it's a strong grip. This time it's shorter, it's easier to hit away, but a mix-up won't cost anything. Dot ball though to close out an excellent over, just the 5 runs from it. It's 1-2-3 for none. that's the partnership. It's unbroken. And it's come in really good time. Broom has played the supporting role. Smith has been the dominant force. There's no doubt about that. Are a few dark skies around, but we're confident enough. Hopefully we'll get this game completed. Also the third and final match of the day. Match 12, Seaosn hack back into the attack. And the great news, Friday onwards, looks like the sunny skies will return that Florida's more renowned for.
Yeah, it seems like, Andrew, will be back to regular Florida weather. We'll be back to a beautiful, beautiful location. A beautiful cricket ground to see more of the games. You can see right there, Ahad Malik padded up to come in. Will be exciting to see, Andrews, who comes in next. Not too much time to go.
Short ball pulled away, bit of a top edge, and doesn't quite carry, I don't think, to Raj Nanan. He's very athletic. He's made a wonderful effort to get there. Did he get his fingers underneath? Maybe not quite.
Well, that's regardless a very good effort from Raj Nanan. You can see Seaosn hits the deck a little bit there. Not that much timing from Neil Broom. And yeah, look at that. That's great athleticism. He did get there. Just slips out of his hands there. Could also be the fact that it's a little bit wet. The surface is a little wet. The outfield is not too dry.
I'll tell you something, on a heavy outfield, that is a marvellous effort from Rajraki Nanan. Just as soon as I mentioned the clouds, this is whipped away into the leg side. The outfield not the quickest, so should just be a couple. Smith is going to have to go. Does get back. The ground staff are starting to circle just as they thought they'd done all their hard work for a couple of days. For 48 hours they were nowhere else but here at the ground. They were sleeping at the ground. They're now standing by, looking a little ominous.
Well, they are the unsung heroes of this tournament, Andrew. We talk about cricket players, cricket commentators, cricket everything, but they're the main people behind the scenes, the groundsmen.
Couldn't agree more with you. Ariane, very well said. Ariane, I haven't asked you your age yet. How old are you?
I'm 18.
I have never felt older in my entire life. You are so impressive for 18 years of age. I don't think I could talk on the phone at 18, let alone live on air to a global audience all around the world. Doing a brilliant job, mate.
Thanks, Andrew. It's great fun to be here with you.
Short ball again. That seems to be what Old Hack's going to. And oh dear. Not the greatest effort, I have to say, in the deep. It's Mohamed Mohsin, and a very displeased, tall, angry fast bowler is looking down at his leg spinner saying, why didn't you stop this?
Well, all of the New Jersey Titans pace bowlers have been dispatched by this opening pair. You can see Saurav Netlavarkar, Seaosn, and Mohamed Mohsin couldn't really get there. Full extension of the arms from Neil Broom, and yeah, look at that. That should be stopped. That's hard luck.
A little change of pace. Actually a very good over, I think, from Seaosn, despite that boundary that he was at pains to concede. It gets us to the end of the 14th. It's 132 for none. There's the unsung heroes. We are going to sing their praises to the rafters. Done an outstanding job, all those men. I don't know if they were joking with me, because there's obviously a few of the boys down there with a great Caribbean sense of humor. They told me they were sleeping here. I don't know if they were being truthful or not.
It's all fun and games, all love The unsung heroes on your screen.
Now, with 4 overs to go, Ariane, look at the projected scores. I think they want north of 180 with this start. 10 wickets in hand. Dwayne Smith in full flow. So nearly chops it on. In fact, he does. The leg bail is lit up. And brilliance from Harmeet Singh. He's been the pick of the bowlers for me. The captain has stood up in a big way. And Broom just looking to work one for a single to get Dwayne Smith onto strike. He's ended up paying the price. And the first wicket finally falls.
One of the most experienced campaigners in the USA, Harmeet Singh. Look at that. Just placed it in the right area and chips a bit of an inside edge of Neil Broom. And look at Harmeet Singh. He's picked up a big wicket and broke a very big partnership. Neil Broom has to go. Makes 45 of his 33. The Maryland Mavericks, 133 for 1.
Canadian to the crease, Ravinderpal Singh often opens the batting in this format for Canada, but he's come in at number 3. I think he was originally listed at number 4, but because of this flying start, they're going to turn to the highly experienced 35-year-old. He's got a pretty good record in T20Is. His strike rate's 147. I don't think Neil Broom knew he was out here. Look, he goes off to run a single. Slog sweep from Singh, man out there just short of him. Aaron Jones does the fielding. Can't run a single when the bails are lighting up and you're clean bowl, can you?
I don't think you can. I think it's just a sign that you got to go back to the hut and let the new man come in. Good piece of fielding from Aaron Jones. Great to see him on the field. Missed out on the first game, the game they played against New York, but it's great to see the USA vice captain back into action.
Three deliveries left of Singh's spell. Just wonder, will Smith maybe look to target overs 16, 17 and 18? Singh's been very effective. Big chance too for Ravinderpal Singh to get his name back into the reckoning for the Canadian T20 side. He was left out for Bermuda for the recently concluded America's qualifier. He was in very good form though generally in the 50 over stuff. That was both in the Cricket World Cup Challenge League and then on to the playoff down in Windhoek, which Canada secured one of the 2 qualifying spots from, but he's out of favour in the shortest format. A good USPL will put him back into World Cup reckoning for next year.
Yeah, it's great to see that he made his intent clear from ball 1. He's looking to attack. Even though Smith has been there for longer, he's still looking to attack. He's not looking to nudge and give Smith the strike. That concludes the 15. Only 3 from it. 135 for 1 after 15.
Skip, we're 2 minutes down here.
Yeah, current rate gets them past that 160 mark, but they'll be looking more for 180, given the power that they have, these 2 in the middle, and Dwayne Smith still present. Have done well, though, the Titans to fight back. Starved Smith of the strike in the last couple of overs since he's got to that half century. Now we'll be hoping for a few consistent inroads. Zia Haq continuing.
Uh-oh. That's a no ball. Apologies from Zia Haq. going to be further damage here for the New Jersey Titans, because that is also a free hit. So what an opportunity. Singh on the receiving end of this free hit.
Can't capitalise. And remember, for those joining us late, it is an 18-over affair, so it means then that captains have to think about which bowlers bowl 4, 3 can bowl 4 overs, 2 can bowl 3. Expect Harmeet Singh, well, he's done his 4 actually, the captain, so Zia-ul Haq will bowl his 4. One other bowler, whether it's Searles, maybe Natravalkar, and then the others can bowl 3. Since Smith has got to that 50, got it in 33 deliveries. They've done well, not only to contain him, but also he hasn't faced many deliveries. It's been Neil Broom in the last couple overs.
Yeah, but now they've got their hands full because Smith is back on strike, and they need to make sure, the Mavericks, that Smith is on strike for a lot of these balls for the rest of this innings, because he's the one that can cause serious damage. 78 not out at the moment.
Oh, direct hit. We'll have a check, but oh no, we won't. The umpire's giving it straight away. And Smith wanted the strike, so he sent Ravinder Paul Singh for the second. Great work in the deep, though. I think it's Norman Anwar.
Yeah, the call for 2 was very early from Smith, but Singh had his work cut out getting back. That was the problem. And always, when there's a direct hit, there's going to be issues either from the umpire looking upstairs, or the batsman on his way back, or just home. One of those 3 on this occasion. Singh is trudging back towards. So disappointment for him. 138 for 2 now. Then the calls for 2. Very early indeed. Couldn't get back. He was just veering away a little bit towards the left of screen, was Singh, but even still I think he was going to be well out of his ground because of that terrific return, that great throw hitting the stumps.
Shubham Ranjani has come to the middle. I think they're just checking to see if that first run was completed. Did he get the bat across that white line? Yeah, just something there, but good on the umpires to at least make the check. Every run so critical at this phase of the tournament.
Yeah, the batsman wasn't looking either, so it was perhaps a little bit of a risky one. You need to make sure you do put that bat behind the line and then tear off down the other side. I guess because he knew he had his work cut out, it was always going to be a little bit difficult to touch and turn. But he did that, but couldn't quite get his ground back in time.
Ranjani now is very adept at finishing innings. He did it in the Major League. Umpire just rescinding the call. And now has a job to do to support Smith, but also find the boundary. Only 6 runs scored in the last 9 deliveries. Three deep on the offside. He's still bowling over the wicket with that angle across Dwayne Smith.
3 off the over so far. It's nicely bowled, low full toss. This time Smith couldn't get underneath that. Sometimes that low full toss can disappear as well, but it was fine because it was wide of the off stump. He just drilled it to the man at long off.
Here's Ranjani, player of the match in the minor league final a couple of years ago, but what a year he had in terms of the Major League Cricket. Struck out over 150 for the Seattle Orcas that got to the final. So he's very capable at this phase, has to get going now. Been good execution from Zia-ul Haq.
They have such an opportunity now to get themselves a very big total. Isn't it the wickets that have gone down so far? Or the last wicket rather. This is the run out. Pick up, one-handed pick up and throw at the stumps. That's outstanding work. That really is very good. No time whatsoever to run in and the two-handed pick up. It had to be the one-handed pick up and throw. Good fielding. That's below the waist height, so that's okay. No drama of a no ball. End of the over, 16 gone, 141 for 2. Good over from Zero Huck.
Yeah, last couple overs, the Titans have pulled their weight, wrestled momentum a bit in this game. That could be crucial. They're 6 off the last 3 from the over before that. So how do these last 2 overs go? It could be critical in the grand complexion of this game. Remember, the teams have an impact player they can use as well. So the Mavericks can bring in an extra bowler, Titans an extra batter after this innings.
We were talking about the fact that they could get 180 if they played well. Only got 2 overs to go now. They're only on 141, so they have their work cut out here to get close to that.
We've had 2 bowlers bowl that full quarter of 4. Now Travalkar will be the 3rd and final bowler to do so. Seen him from both ends today. Has he got enough on it? Yes, he has. And relief for Dwayne Smith after they've done well to bog him down. Moves closer to that landmark.
That was a short arm jab, that one. Perhaps a little bit annoyed that he just allowed them just to have a couple of quieter overs. He didn't get them to strike for a bit, and then just decided to launch that one with power. Wasn't a great deal of timing involved, but that's fine. He's so strong, he can do that. Got underneath it and it disappeared. Pretty flat.
Gone. This time they get him, and that full and wide plan works perfectly. Good comeback from that Travalkar and the Titans. Another wicket.
Zero Huck was the man that took the catch. It's a good catch. It's a good time to get rid of Dwayne Smith. Runs had slowed up a little bit. Still going to be a good total with 18 overs aside. Smiles from Zero Huck, which you can appreciate, because Smith for another 10 or so balls could have caused absolute havoc. Had to reach for that at the last minute. It was quite full as well, so it didn't allow him to get right underneath it and move smartly to his left. Good catch. It's a very good catch. Controlled things too when his forearms hit the ground as well. Didn't bounce out. So he's on his way. Smith for a well played 87 off 58 deliveries. Mavericks 147 for 3.
A bit of discussion here from the 2 umpires. Dwayne Smith hasn't left the field. We thought the catch was cleanly taken. They will go upstairs. The 3rd umpire will have a decision to make.
I wonder if there was any thought about perhaps overstepping. That's normally the another look you have at in these situations when the umpire's not sure. Does he overstep? No, he's fine there. Absolutely fine.
They're checking the catch just to make sure it was clean.
Looked very clean to me. Yeah, it's a fine catch. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's absolutely fine.
now come to a conclusion. Was good execution though from Natravalkar to get this wicket, because started very straight to Smith, and throughout the innings he's hit maximums down the ground, then same length but pushed it a touch wider. Excellent use, and this is good bowling from the Titans. This could mean a lot to get that wicket, but also 3 wickets now in the last 3 overs. Can go from chasing 180 to maybe 155, 160. Ronaldo Ali Mohammed comes to the middle. He's played for the Guyana under-19 side. 25 years old and can get a move on. He's come out ahead of Kamala and others, so has a job to do. Just 10 deliveries in this innings remaining.
$170 at least, $160 at least. That should be what they're thinking.
Not from that shot there, Mike.
That was never a strong point.
It seems like heavens have opened, and that's not good news. The ground staff are getting busy. Just seems to be a slight drizzle.
Ground staff be thinking, oh no, not again. They spent so much time here yesterday running on, making sure the covers were secure.
Straight through him. It's to win the over for Natravalkar. How crucial could this over be for the Titans in this game?
That's brilliant. They have stemmed this run flow superbly. Got rid of Smith. Picked up Ronaldo as well. So a couple of wickets in no time have certainly changed the perspective, hitting the top of middle stump. Ali Mohammed will be disappointed with that. And the Mavericks now 147 for 4, as the ground staff have grabbed the covers and out they come. Let's hope this is going to be a passing shower. They were here at 7 a.m. yesterday. They left at about 5 p.m. yesterday after all the rain. They were absolutely exhausted because with the wind that was around the place, it kept blowing the covers off. They kept coming out all the time, repegging the covers. And now they're at it again, let alone the day before that. And the day before that, they're also busy. Back here again this morning at 7 a.m. So it's been really tough for them to get this ground ready for play today. And the big covers coming out at this stage. They're not bringing out the covers for the bowling run-ups right now. So it's just the square they're looking to secure. They have been superb, and let's hope this is a passing shower so we don't have too much of stoppage of this all-important day, which certainly can benefit some teams, because a couple of sides have had no results, and the Mavericks is one of those. They've played 3.5 almost now, and still no result.
I hope it subsides soon, because remember, we did lose time at the start of the game. We've already had overs taken away. It's already an 18-over affair, so forecast doesn't look too concerning. Just about a 30% chance of rain, so hopefully this is just a sprinkle and we can get back out there.
Yeah, looking at a couple of radars around the place, looks like it is going to be a passing shower, so we're hoping that that stays that way. Most of us have been looking at the weather forecast over the last 24 hours to see what's been going on, because it was quite extraordinary what happened yesterday. Nearly 10 inches of rain at this ground yesterday. That's a lot of rain.
Dwayne Smith, what a day for him in his second season at the USPL. Started powerfully in that initial power play. They tried to bowl straight to him, but when they went full, he was destructive down the ground. 6 maximums straight.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's very hard to bowl to when he's in this sort of mood. On a surface like this, if he knows there's anything in the slot, it's going to disappear. And he certainly put on a bit of a treat today. It was really nice to see the way he played. Couldn't quite capitalise till the very end, but he played superbly for that 87 off 58 balls. Really was terrific work from him. And Broom, good support, 45 off 33 deliveries. Very good opening stand as well between both those guys. And Shubham not out one at the stage. and still just a couple of deliveries left in the innings, but at the moment it's at a hold as we check out the confirmation of that partnership. 132, 92 deliveries, and the rest two were pretty breezy. There's still some batting to come, but we only have 8 legitimate deliveries left in this innings, if we don't lose any more time, of course.
Yeah, they'll take confidence from this going forward in the tournament, the Mavericks. Just the dynamic ability of these two. Broom was able to just minimize risk in the power play while Dwayne Smith went big a few times. And then as Smith sort of lost his tempo, those reverse sweeps and sweeps, Neil Broom found the boundary with great consistency. So that will be something to take going forward from a batting perspective though. But you have to say the Titans have fought back well. 3 wickets in the last 3 overs. Now Travalkar's got 2 of them. Harmeet Singh, the captain, didn't bowl in the power play. He's done his for economical, just 6.5 runs per over. 3 bowlers can bowl 4, 2 can bowl a maximum of 3 overs. We just got confirmation that the first innings, because of the rain and the time we lost earlier, is now complete. So Duckworth Lewis, Stern will come in and set a total for the Titans to chase. The good thing for the Mavericks, they've got wickets in hand, and that rate was close to 9s and over. So we'll see the revision. Well, we'll take a short break, and hopefully on the other side of things, we'll have some more positive news for you.
Well, the double M's were 147 for 4, and then rain played spoil sport. It's going to be a truncated game. And in that, there's also been an impact player change. Ziaul Haq would be sitting out now. And Harmeet Singh, the captain of NJ Titans, says Ian Dev Singh Chauhan, you would be needed behind the wickets now. We're in front of it. We'll go with front of it. He was phenomenal, wasn't he? Dwayne, 87 of 58, setting it up brilliantly. He knew that rain threat is looming large. They need to get as many as possible, because whatever he scores and his team scores, it had to be truncated.
Yeah, at one stage they were looking at 180, but it wasn't the case. That partnership opening stand was just quite extraordinary. 132 it was in 14 overs and 1 ball, so that was crazy work from Smith and also Broom. A quick look at the bowling. Harmeet Singh was very good. 1 for 26 off his 4, going 6.5 for the over. Raj also doing the same. Ziaul Haq was a little bit on the expensive side, but not too bad. That's okay, going at 8.75. Took a good catch as well, just to do some tough work at first change. And Mohammed just got a little bit of tap with just the 1 over for 14. But they just dropped off a little bit towards the end, so they'll be a bit disappointed with that. They'll even be more disappointed with the fact that rain has now impacted things.
Jesse Singh would be raring to go with the ball in hand now. He lost the toss today, had to bat first there. Jesse Singh. Now New Jersey Titans, the revised target for them, according to DLS, would be 59 required in 5 overs. And it's the second time they're playing a 5-over shootout. And this time they knew about it a little later, that's it.
And just a quick look also at the conditions. They've been revised, as you'd imagine, when it's a shortened game. So 59 runs, as we've said, off the 5 overs. Power play is 2 overs. 2 bowlers can bowl 2 overs and 1 bowler can bowl 1 over. But spare a thought for the Maryland Mavericks. They've had 3 games before today and 3 no-result games. So they haven't completed a game before they've arrived in the park today. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit tough for them, because 59 surely is going to be easy enough for them to get the New Jersey Titans, with that target being posted. It's always a little bit of a lottery when this happens, when rain interferes. At the stage it did interfere, whether it's the end of 20 overs or at the end of 18 or whatever the story of the game is, of the innings is, suddenly when rain gets involved, it just doesn't work out for some reason. The Duckworth, Lewis and Stern, there's got to be some other way they can do it for T20 cricket, because 10 wickets in hand, 59 runs to get, and 5 wickets to get them in is suddenly, I think, a bit of an unfair scenario.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Jesse Singh knows that, but would want to put it past him. The impact player, Ziaul Haq, has gone out, and Ian Dev Chauhan comes in for the NJ Titans. Umpire Avik signalling that the impact player has been used. Mukhtar will open the batting. Mukhtar and Khaus were excellent in the previous 5-over shootout that NJ Titans were a part of. They provided a blistering start. Today they've got to chase down a target. It's a little unfair indeed, knowing that Twain scored 87 of 58 and the opposition needs 59.
If the New Jersey Titans get up here, which is to be expected at this stage, I think, but things can happen that are quite strange in a game of cricket, then they will get 2 points, which will mean they'll get 5 points, which will put them to the top of the table. There's Phillies United, who are top at the moment with 4 points. So suddenly they'll get a rocket, and we're sitting on top with another game to come a little bit later on.
Andres Khaus on your screens. This game's tailor-made for him. The situation itself is tailor-made for him. He's anyways in form. He'd be looking to tonk the ball a long, long way with 59 to score. And there's less wind as well right now. Jasdeep Singh would want a little bit more.
The only good part about that is that signals that things should be okay for the rest of the evening. I've said that with my fingers and toes crossed. But as Andrew Leonard's been saying, the rest of the tournament, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and also Monday and Tuesday, looking good. So that's going to be plenty of sunshine for those days, and that's going to be wonderful.
Everyone's hankering for sunshine at this stage. First ball. And that length, man in the deep, taken. The plan has worked. The plan has worked. Mukhtar is stunned by the first delivery. Good catch by Pal Singh in the deep. Ravinder anyways doesn't miss any, but he had one straight down his throat. Didn't have to move an inch on left or right.
I can tell, I did tell you that some strange things can happen in a game of cricket. And this is another one of them. First ball, perfectly positioned by Jesse Singh. Ravi was there, swallowed that. They're delighted. That's all they need to do. Pick up wickets right at the start. And the skipper is very happy with that start. That'll lift their team, that's for sure. Give them a bit of hope. As Mukhtar goes for 0, none for 1.
Trevin Griffith comes out to the middle because Mukhtar played a simple shot in the end, which in hindsight has sent him back to the pavilion. First ball, a wicket for Jasdeep. Oh, good delivery. It's that kind of length and angle where as a batter you're confused whether to swivel or go for the drive.
Have a look at that dismissal. Mukhtar just picking out absolutely perfectly. It wasn't all that short, I suppose, as a pickup shot. And hit really well. He would have got 6 runs had there been no one there. Such an important wicket first up. That's what they need. They need more of those. The Mavericks.
And the reaction says it all. It's a very well planned wicket to send Mukhtar back to the hut. He's played so many times against Mukhtar as well, understands his gameplay. Jasdeep wants to be bowling that nagging length once again, confusing length. Trevon wanted to give the charge, not in control, but will take the single. New Jersey Titans start to tick.
I've always liked the way that Jesse Singh goes about things. Saw him for the first time about 5 years ago. Loved his run-up. He's got nice aggression in the run-up, nice gather, nice delivery. Very direct to the batsman. Everything's nicely channeled. I saw him about 5 years ago. The owners of the Maryland Mavericks saw him when he was 13 years of age. He started playing club cricket with the 3 owners of the Maryland Mavericks when he was just 13 years of age, and he stayed with them ever since. And he's one of the main reasons why the owners got involved.
Andres has struck it. Give all your work a lick and a promise. Watch this genius bat right now. What a start for him.
House has just slammed that one on the leg side for 6. Now again, this is not that short. This is just beautifully picked up. The track is not quick. Seen 2 shots already proving that. Wonderful pickup. Quintessential T20 shot, that one. Or a T5 if you like it. That's a beautiful shot.
The clarity with which he's come out to bat every time in USPL 2023 has been astonishing. The results he's achieved have been astonishing. The fact that the ball keeps on traveling with a lot of disrespect to the boundary rope, it's something that will rob the confidence of the bowler as well. Now Jasdeep, with all his experience, will have to script a comeback in an over that he started with a wicket.
New Jersey Titans will make sure they get around 10 runs and over in the first couple of overs to make sure they don't fall in any sort of hole in this chase.
Slightly slower. Just felt like Andreas was checking his shot in the end. Jasdeep's plan's been a little tricky. Started off with back of a lane, got rid of Mukhtar. Then for House towards his torso. Easy height for him to swivel away for 6. That was there to be driven, but straight to mid-off. Wants that single, but no challenge. An over later, New Jersey Titans are 8 for 1. Eight for 1. Andres House has struck a brilliant 6 on the leg side in the first over. And it's an over that started with Mukhtar's wicket. Mixed back for Jasdeep. Jasdeep trusting experience. Noshtosh Kenjige to roll his arm over.
This is going to be really important. Pace from one end, spin from the other. Got to make sure they bowl nicely together, make sure they keep things tight here. Try and put the batsmen under as much pressure as possible. The only way they can really win this is they pick up wickets, and they pick up wickets early. They got one the very first delivery.
The ball hardly travelled on the ground in the first over. That's exactly why Kenjige is quite happy gripping the ball as well after a little spell of rain. Kenjige is taking his own sweet time to set the field too. He's got 2 men for the cut shot. The third man's inside the circle, slightly wider, backward point in place as well. He's found the gap. It might be a little slow in outfield, but if it's being pummeled like that, it will go for 4.
That's the danger in the power play when you're bowling spin in the power play in this sort of situation, where the batsman looking to tee off. Anything that's slightly offline that you can rock onto the back foot with and just hammer through the offside. If it finds a gap, it's gone. Only 2 allowed outside, so there's no sweep on the offside. If a sweep is there, he's there for a bad ball.
He reads the length so early, Andres House. It almost feels like your margin of error keeps on shrinking as he plays every single ball. 11 or 4. It's House's kind of start. Well, there isn't a portion of the bat that's not the middle right now. Mid-off up in the circle, easy pickings.
He's also strong. He just hammers the ball. He's always been a crisp hitter of a cricket ball. Just look at the way this just tears off the bat and screams past that man is too wide. That mid-off.
Just stand and deliver kind of stuff. Uses the depth of the crease brilliantly. Andres Kaus. And doesn't mind putting on the dancing shoes as well, especially in the first 6 overs where just a chip over the infield usually gives them runs. But today the outfield's a little slow. He's got to compensate for that with a little more power without losing his shape.
Too wide, the man at bottom left. Too wide. It's going to be tighter.
Taken. Ravindra Pal Singh seems to be everywhere the catches are. Andres Kaus this time.
He wanted to go squarer. I said he was too wide. He was absolutely perfect for a bit of a long hop. He's disappointed with himself. If he was looking to play off the front foot, he obviously needed a little bit straighter, but this sort of delivery where it just hammered straight to him is going to be problems. That's a good catch, going low at the end, going quickly.
This is where Ravindra Pal Singh fields for Canada too in the power play, so understands this angle really well. It's a nice low catch to send back Andres Kaus. 15 of 6. He's still done his job in a truncated contest. 16 for 2. Mohammad Mohsin has been sent in. Left-handed batter, 142 runs with a good strike rate. 2 left-handers out there.
Going to have to change his line, get outside off stump and try and spin it back in towards him.
And this is why he's been sent out. That'll travel easily the distance. What a start for Mohammad.
Now remember, this is not the biggest ground around because today they've had to move the advertising triangles in a little bit because there were some damp patches about a metre or so outside the rope. They wanted to take that out of play totally, so that was easily picked up off the pads and dispatched for 6.
Every time you bring the boundary rope a little, it's going to dampen the spirits too of the bowler. Couple of boundaries, a wicket and a 6. It's been a mixed bag, but New Jersey Titans will take it in a 5-over shootout. A little bit of compensation there, but Kenji gave us unfazed. At 36 of 19. The captain of Mavericks has got to keep an eye on who he's going to utilize for the maximum number of overs, as well as this is a truncated contest. Not everybody gets equal number of overs.
Natural thing when you're looking for runs and quick runs is to hit leg side. He's got to get outside the line of off stump.
Slaps it straight down the ground. This will have enough power to reach the fence. He split the boundary cushions too. Does he have a protractor in hand? 27 for 2 and 2.
It's a really good shot. Too straight and also over pitched.
Next stump. Slightly off. Get a middle stump.
27 for 2 in 2 overs. The revised target for the NJ Titans is 59 in 5 overs. Power play of 2 overs has been well utilized. 27 runs have been scored in them. 2 bowlers can bowl 2 overs. Shubham Rajane.
First over went for 8, second over went for 19. With a rocket now, the New Jersey Titans.
Trevin's 5 of 3. He needed that boundary to get something going for him. Mohsin announced his arrival brilliantly.
Current run rate is 13.5. They need to go at 10.5 from here.
Didn't time it too well. And also a very good throw, so only a single. Thoughts of 2 were entertained for just a second. How important is it to trust the call of the person who's hit it, because he knows how hard he's hit it?
Yeah, right off the bottom of the bat, but he did call that 2. It was never going to be an opportunity because the fielder was screaming in off the boundary, as they should be doing in this sort of situation. They've got to be so alert, the fielders. They've got to watch the captain at all times. Got to anticipate wherever possible. This is going to be a tough call.
3 men on the leg side for the heave. And that's also because the outfield's a little slow. Down the ground might not give you 4. Down on the ground, that is. But over the top is a better option. Good slower delivery. That was such a good delivery. Not just the batter, but even the keeper had no clue. Bad bounce.
Just lost his shape as he tried to hit that one. Was going to go down the ground, but just went through too quickly. Change of pace just undid him a fraction. When you have less energy on the ball, it does tend to die, so he hits through it too quickly and also keeps low.
The plan for Shubham Rajane works up until the point it goes past the batter, and suddenly that run is conceded. He would have loved to have Trevor on strike. Had to dig it out, but didn't get the gap. Struck it so well that it went quickly to the captain too. No run. Priceless dot ball. 30 of 15. 2 runs required every ball.
This is pretty impressive so far. If you have a couple of dot balls in a row, that does make the mind do weird things in this sort of situation. You can double up with another one. That'll make the last 2 interesting.
Don't know if it was planned, but Mohsin has not timed it at all, let alone touched it. Hasn't touched it at all, let alone time it. 30 of 14. This is turning out to be a brilliant over.
He was surprised by the full toss. I don't think it was meant to be that high. Perhaps searching for the Yorker. You'll see they had to just bounce up a little bit the last minute. There was no question the fact that it was going to be above waist height. No dramas on that perspective. So now 1 run and 1 leg by so far, and 2 dot balls in this over. 2 balls to go. Can he keep this nice and tight for the Mavericks?
Struck well enough, and a much needed boundary from the bat of Mohammad Mohsin.
I got the feeling it didn't matter where that ball was going to be pitched. It was just going to be disappearing wherever he could hit it. If he's going to go down the ground square, didn't matter one bit. A little bit short and decided to go over the top of covers and did it very easily. Good connection, just the 1 bounce, and screamed away for another 4. They needed it though, just to settle things down a little bit.
Mohsin proving that setting him up the order is a gold dust move. Needed that boundary. Just 2 runs had come off the over had that not been a boundary.
However, if this last ball is quiet, it's still a very good over.
It's a friendly full toss that he hasn't timed. Single to complete the over. 3 gone, 34 for 2.
They're well on their way. That's what's coming up. Patriots against the Eagles. And both teams will be hoping for a 20 over affair. Unmuk Chan left of screen, Saif Badar next to him. Some really high quality players on show in this competition, and two very good teams searching for a win. Kevin Stout has, well, looks like he's going to have ball in hand, and he was originally listed as an impact player. Man, that is very crafty, very innovative with the changes of pace. Will want to use the win and the slightly bigger side. And they will make the impact player signal now. So both teams utilizing that impact player rule. Andrew Leonard is alongside me. Lenny, how do you assess the first three?
Oh, great to be with you, mate. Firstly, it is tricky. I understood exactly what Mike Heisman was saying in that last stint about does DLS sometimes favour the side, particularly in the T20 when it goes this short, to not what he described as a T5. I'm going to call it an F5, Formula 5, 5 overs of madness here. But if you bowl well, particularly with the fact that two bowlers can bowl 2 overs, they haven't gone for that yet. Maybe it will be the captain, Jesse Singh, to bowl the final over. If you bowl well, you can absolutely still win the contest. I think it's pretty fair, or it's as fair as we've got at the very least. 24 to win off 11.
Really slow into the pitch using conditions. Stout, this is a good battle here, the two West Indians.
Well, this is deception, isn't it, Nikhil? Look at this for a delivery. Is it a knuckle ball? That's what I saw maybe on first. Well, it's really a leg cutter actually, isn't it? And Griffith completely stumped. No shot played.
There's 3 deliveries in this over. He's only gone for 1 run, and all 3 have been different slower balls. Seeing the off cutter, you mentioned the knuckleball. That one looked like it may have come out the leg cutter, the back of the hand, or even the side of the hand. It's good from Stout. And all of a sudden, things are getting a bit tight. 24 from 9 is not so clear cut anymore. Went full. Long off in place, gone. What an over this is from Kevin Stout. Could he have won his team the game?
Well, just like that, 4 good deliveries, the game changes. Dot, dot, wicket. That is worth its weight in gold in an F5 contest. It's just little changes of pace. All the pace taken off the ball. He's coming in as a medium fast bowler, and he's floating those down at maybe 55, 60 miles an hour. Well might he celebrate, because these 4 balls have turned the contest on its head. Griffith is gone for 5. The Titans 35 for 3.
Captain Harmeet Singh has a job to do. You can see that strike rate is high in terms of his T20 career. Has been part of the Rajasthan Royals setup. Won't be easy though to find the boundary against Kevin Stout with his variation. Again, another pace off delivery, and again wide, forcing the left-handed hit into the wind.
So often in T20 cricket, or as this the shortened 5 over version, we talk about batters winning the games. Stout's over here is winning the Mavericks this game. If he can get out of this over with a dot or a single, it's going to be a mammoth final over required. 24 to win off 7 now.
very fine. Work for Ramratan to do, does well in the end. Would be some assistance from the amount of moisture in that outfield, but look at the over from Stout. 1 wicket and 2 runs from the penultimate. It's 36 for 3. It really is a beautiful city, Fort Lauderdale, and the entire state of Florida. They want to come out in their numbers for the next couple of days in this US Premier League once the weather improves. Jasdeep Singh, the captain, will bowl this final over. He's got 22 runs to defend because of Kevin Stout's heroics. Need to find the boundary a few times in this over, preferably maximums. What a start. Now, it's amazing, Lenny, because after the power play 27 for 2, you thought they were well on their way, well ahead of the asking rate, but 1 tight over from Kevin Stout just brings you back into the game.
And the reason why was this man. I think they're all leg cutters, including one that was really almost a slower ball bouncer. It was bowled closer to his set of stumps than the other. That one was fuller, and Griffith wanted to get it over the head of long off, but he couldn't. An outstanding over, a wicket and just 3 runs from it.
And this is turning out to be excellent all-round performance by the Mavericks. What I like about that as well is it's great use of the dimensions from Stout, understanding that there's a wind coming from the eastern side, purposely going over the wicket, thinking for that Titans team to do. Luckily for them, they do have the win in the tournament, so they won't, even if they come up short, be at too much of a disadvantage.
There's a fairly frustrated looking Aaron Jones, the American vice captain, in the middle of the shot there, not being used yet with the bat.
These last now 9 deliveries, just 6 runs.
Yeah, from here, it's really a miracle needed. 19 to win off 3. 3 sixes would get us a tied game. You're going to need some help from Jasdeep Singh if you're the Titans, and I'm not sure where this chase has all gone wrong. Firstly, the over from Shubman only went for 6, which was the 3rd over. Remember, they're 27 after 2. They look to be in cruise control. Amazing how these short games can change.
And this has been excellent execution from Jasdeep Singh. And once things go to plan, his team will have their first win of this competition. Really must be credited for the way the batters added that impetus, the 2 openers especially. And it's always so important with rain around. The important thing was that they had 6 wickets in hand, helped boost that Duckworth-Lewis score to 59, which proved to be too much.
I think probably good value for their victory, I have to say, as long as Jesse Singh can keep his front foot behind the line here, not concede any extras. They're going to get it done, and Dwayne Smith's innings has deserved that victory for his team. It was an innings of the highest quality. This time, after 4 Yorkers, he goes into the surface, and the 2 new men at the crease have just got nothing on it. Mohsen has struggled, hasn't he, despite getting 16 off. Now 11, 4 off 4 for Harmeet Singh, not enough. Well, it is a no ball. It's still probably going to be too little too late despite this free hit. 17 to win off 2. If that had gone for 6, we would have had maybe a different scenario. Free hit incoming.
Again, though, goes Yorker and executes. And the next 2 teams, the next game coming up, the 2 teams have been here. observing conditions. They've been getting warm, so that's going to be a thrilling encounter just to see the way conditions are used, what the decision is at the toss. Chicago versus the Eagles, the Carolina Eagles, so don't miss that.
Yeah, always smiling, isn't he? Shadley Van Schalkwyk, great cricketer to watch.
A brilliant win for Jasdeep Singh and his team. Dynamic in the field with their bowling options, but it was all about the force from Smith and Broom that got them to a very competitive total, put 59 on the board, and they can smile now, relief. Finally, they've got one in that W column.
15 runs to the margin of victory on Duckworth Lewis Stern. Often you look at these equations and you'll say, oh, 5 overs, they should get that done easy. They got 10 wickets in hand. But unless one of the openers really sees it through, or maybe the number 3, it's difficult for those numbers 4 and 5 to come in, having not got the pace of the wicket yet, having not had the power play. And Jesse Singh is delighted. His side have turned it around after those first 2 overs with the ball that were expensive from the 2 American internationals, Singh himself and Kenjigate, that had, with a 19-run over off Kenjigate, it had the Titans in the box seat, but the Mavericks have turned it around. And I think Dwayne Smith, his stunning inning. What a knock it was. 87, it's the unlucky number down under, 13 shy of a century. But he will be delighted, ecstatic. He may be in the autumn, maybe the winter of his career now, or the fall, if you will, here in the United States. But he is still world class. And for me, the better side has won in this shortened contest.
And take nothing away from Kevin Stott as well, because even though it was only 6 balls he delivered, it really stemmed the flow. Titans were well on their way. Last 2 overs, they only conceded 10 runs, the Mavericks. And Jasdeep Singh will be very confident going forward, the way his team was able to come back and fight back in this encounter. Andrew Scouse got off to a great start. Mukhtar Ahmed went early. Mohamed Mohsin getting to 17, but not enough, not quick enough to get that desired target of 59.
Yeah, and even though 17 off 12 looks okay, it's just not enough. And as soon as House was dismissed, it's all gone horribly wrong for the Titans. I think they look collectively maybe the strongest squad of all 7 in the United States Premier League 2023. But thanks to Dwayne Smith and that combination, you're completely right, Nikhil. A stunning over from the impact player. That's why the star is next to his name. What an impact he had. 4 dot balls out of 6. Overs 3, 4 and 5 went for absolutely nothing after Kenjigate was clubbed around for 19. They haven't just won, the Mavericks, they've won at a canter. 15 runs, the margin of victory by Duckworth Lewis Stern. A really entertaining game.
Great use of conditions. The Titans will be back to the drawing board, but they do have that win, remember. One of the few teams in this tournament to do that. So the Mavericks, finally, they're off to winning ways. And finally, we've got a completed game of cricket. Credit to the ground staff and all involved for getting the ground ready. In terms of the innings, well, Dwayne Smith and Neil Broom started things off. What impressed you about this partnership, Lenny?
Well, it was really all about Dwayne Smith's almost reliance upon his experience. He didn't look in any great touch at first, did he? And then all of a sudden the shots started coming out. Broom just played the supporting role, the anchor role alongside him. Look at the wrists, look at the strength, and look at the simply awesome power of the 40-year-old West Indian. He's played in almost every cricketing country in the world. There's barely a franchise league he hasn't been to, Dwayne Smith. And he showed today with shots like that one in particular as to exactly why. They actually fell away a bit towards the end, didn't they? But it was more than enough, their total of 147 for 4. We thought at one point they were on track for 200. But a little flurry of wickets from Netravalkar at the end after that initial breakthrough from the captain Harmeet Singh pegged things back and gave the Titans what we felt was a very chaseable DLS total in 5 overs, including that outstanding direct hit run out. But Dwayne Smith, well, he's as good as they come. How's he got that one for 6?
A lot to take for both teams in this encounter. They want to move forward. Remember, this game, the nature of this tournament, games come thick and fast. So really have to hope you're playing your best cricket consistently. Then the rains came, cutting short that innings. It meant that Gauss and Mukhtar Ahmed had 59 to chase in 5 overs, and it was not the best of starts. Ahmed went on the first delivery. Andreas House so strong in that leg side, but anything short, was able to put it away. Struck 2 boundaries before he was unable to clear him off. Then a few big strikes from Griffith and Mohammed Mohsin, but this was the over from Kevin Stout. Pace off, and then frustrated Griffith couldn't clear long off, and that over really set up the game for the Maryland Mavericks. Jasdeep Singh had 22 to defend off the final over, and he led his team to victory admirably, winning by 15 runs. Smiles all around. Let's go down to Roshni for the post-match presentation.
Welcome to the post-match presentation for match number 11 between the Maryland Mavericks and the New Jersey Titans. Maryland Mavericks have won by 15 runs. Join with me, I have Mr. Shiv Chima, the owner of the Carolina Eagles, who will be presenting the Man of the Match award to Dwayne Smith for his 87 off of 58 balls. Dwayne, congratulations on the first win of the tournament. A great knock from yourself. Walk me through that partnership you had with Neil.
Thank you, first of all. I'm accustomed now to opening batting with New Zealand players. So I had one with McCullum and now with Neil. So I just tell him just be relaxed, and we try and get as much runs as possible. I know once we stay out there, it comes easy for us, because when you're coming in as a new batsman, it's harder to get the ball away because it's stopping a bit. And then the guys, they bowl well, but in patches. But it was good to get off to a good start for the team and also to get a win.
And with the 5 overs that was changed due to the rain, what was the discussion as a vice captain between you and Jesse to kind of take on that? Because the bowlers did a brilliant job.
Yeah, I think it's just the knowledge that I have. You know what, I was out there for most part of the innings, so I know how the ball was reacting off the pitch, and it was just for us to get out there and we got an early wicket and we put some pressure on them, which was good, and we just take it from there.
Well done on your knock. Congratulations, and you're top of the table now.
Thank you. I love it.
Dwayne Smith, second season he is playing now for the Maryland Mavericks, and what a start it is for him. Well, that's a look at what's happened today. First game was abandoned, but the second one really happy to get a result, and a huge encounter coming your way in a few minutes time. The Patriots taking on the Eagles live from the Broward County Stadium in Florida. Hope you stay with us for the action. Should be a blockbuster. We'll see you soon after the break.